Luna Rossa launch or Luna Rossa lunch, depending
Launch
on
after
the
lunch.
Okay, we saw the menu that
menu.
was actually quite interesting. But
Exactly.
anyway,
Also the boat was.
also the boat was really interesting.
More or less interesting.
Okay, let's start from the foils.
Foils?
The foil structure that is quite similar to American Magic, no?
Exactly. So this is also maybe one of the reasons the launch has
was
been postponed
by 1
so
month.
much.
Exactly, by 1 month, which is more or less the time you need to design a new part and then
Exactly.
realize,
And then build
produce,
it.
and build. So probably this can be a good reason, no,
Good reason,
to delay, because in the moment you are touching the water with these two foils,
Yes.
then these are your two
Exactly. So,
let's say foil structures.
Exactly.
So in the end, and then you still have another 4. So
Exactly.
No more than this.
No more than this. So the rule is quite strict, and you cannot go in the water with some fancy false foils or a fancy false part in general. So they needed to have a part, a foil. They will be stuck to for quite a few times.
Exactly. And then this is involving your ability in trying new things. So
Exactly.
So in the end, you cannot try that much if you have foils that are typing your lifting part,
Exactly.
no?
Type forming.
So if they are type forming, while if you have like a bulb,
the bulb. Exactly.
the bulb, in the end you can try whatever you like on the wings.
Exactly. So the rule is you can change only 20% of the weight of each foil.
Exactly.
So if you have 80% of the weight of the foil inside the bulb, you cannot change the bulb, but you can do whatever you want with the foils. Change size, shape, angle, anything you want. So so this is something interesting, which we saw already on American Magic, and now we see with some little changes in Luna Rossa. So we see the winglets, small winglets, which we didn't see maybe in.
No, there were also some way in American Magic, but anyway, no problem. No.
So different foils in respect to Emirate New Zealand, quite similar to American Magic. Hull shape,
very, very interesting. So we have like a skeg, a long
Exactly.
skeg all along the boat.
Exactly.
So
From
starting
the bow
from the bow. The bow is quite traditional, no? Looks like a little traditional, no? So a little bit round shape, a little bit let's say smooth in the top, no?
Where
going
the bowsprit
backwards in the top.
is. But anyway, really vertical, really straight.
Vertical.
Compared to the strange, let's say, nose of American Magic and the inversed bow of Team New Zealand, this is for sure a choice which
at least looks more classical.
More classic, exactly.
More classic. While the bottom of the boat is not classic at all.
No.
Or I mean, it's really classic.
It's really classic.
Looks like a long keel, no?
Long keel, exactly.
A long keel boat, no?
This
For a
long
classic
keel, this long skeg, we have from the bow, so starting almost from the bow until the transom, and just ending in front of the rudder, in fact.
Exactly. It's shaped like this, no?
Exactly, it's V-shaped.
V-shaped.
It's V-shaped and is a choice which is not as hard as those of these of New Zealand.
Exactly.
So it's not that much of
volume. It's not another volume just below the main volume of the hull, no? Another volume which we thought it was like a sailing volume in very very light winds. No,
Exactly.
here is not the intention looks like is not to really sail on this VU, because the boat will for sure touch the water also on the flat part, on the flat horizontal
but for
part.
sure this boat will have a much less wetted area than American Magic.
Absolutely. American Magic will offer its flat surface in light winds, which is very very complicated to move.
Exactly.
For sure.
And with the plus, in respect also to what Emirate in New Zealand did, to have a surface which prevents the leeway. This is really interesting when the boat is starting to fly or needs to maneuver when starting to fly. So when this boat will start to fly, she will be able to let's say orient
the wings, the foil wings horizontals to have the biggest lifting surface,
Exactly.
available. But the problem in this moment it has a very 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 small anti-leeway surface. Sorry, and so this the skeg, the other skeg of Luna Rossa will help quite a bit, no?
Exactly. So we don't know the rules for racing. But if, as probable, during the pre-start sequence, the boat will not
sail,
sail, but
stay in the water,
not fly. Luna Rossa will have a good advantage because she can place
herself exactly just on the leeward side of the competition, and then the competitor has to wait for Luna Rossa to go start. Or even will risk to hit Luna Rossa in some way, because Luna Rossa will be much more stable in this case. So for sure Luna Rossa can accelerate earlier, for sure. And also in the opposite case, they can stay there while the other boat will go leeward.
Exactly. So we'll substantially gain space to windward and go out from the bad air of the competitor.
During acceleration, we saw they need powerful sails just to start
flying.
Absolutely.
So that it's normal that a boat like American Magic will for sure go a lot sideways. So will be really difficult for the American guys to start in a straight line. They will start going a lot leeway. So the rudder also is part, and also the foil arms are part of this philosophy, let's say. So the let's say while flying, these big surfaces they have is not a big deal. I imagine. When in this moment, Luna Rossa has a very big chords on its let's say foil arms and also the rudder. So all the appendages will have long chords. Also the rudder, which is at least as we see from the photos, it seems from the photos it's much larger in the top part than the competitor's one. So basically Luna Rossa will have more capability of maneuvering,
driving the boat
while the boat is afloat, and then the rudder is made to be thin, so there's a curve in the
there
cord.
There is an S to have a very very small
wetted surface when flying.
Absolutely. Also the arms have the same philosophy inside the rules, obviously. So you can go very very thin actually, but in the end they have the smallest cord possible when flying, obviously.
While the other competitors, for example for the rudders, they have in general quite small rudders. which are trapezoidal, so starts with a larger chord and end with a smaller chord, obviously, but they are continuous
without an S.
Exactly. So probably they will have much more difficulties in maneuvering when the boat is afloat, while Luna Rossa really seems to be a boat meant to maneuver well in all conditions.
Very good. Very good. Then the cockpit layout is similar to the other boats. We didn't see it now any other main differences, but this is very interesting. So, best boat when maneuvering in the pre-start with the boat float. For us, sure, Luna Rossa. Fastest boat when afloat, Emirates Team New Zealand.
For sure.
And maybe fastest float when flying, American Magic. This is, in theory, should be. So American Magic, all driven by the let's say aerodynamics, no?
Exactly. And so the flying part.
While the other boats have different choices when interesting. Luna Rossa can probably have had the best shot if the sailing instruction tell that at some point of the race, if there is a standard limit of wind, so not too low, so the boat will fly anyway all around the race, but if there is a pre-start with the boats afloat, then probably Luna Rossa can have a good advantage.
Good advantage, for sure.
Let's see.
Ciao.
Ciao, good day. Bye. Ciao.